guys, now Viseart released two new theory palettes for spring summer of this year. Now theory palettes are actually 6-pan palettes. Now the most popular eyeshadow palettes of Viseart are actually their 12-pan eyeshadow palettes, but recently they I think they introduced the theory palettes last year, I think, which are 6-pan palettes, and they are a bit cheaper. Now these retail for $45 each, and they actually brought in two palettes, like I said. Now I bought these for 15% off. I bought these during the BIB Rouge sale for this year spring, and one is called the Nuance palette. The Nuance palette is this. It has like coppery tones to it, pinkish coppery tones to it. It also has like a peach. It also has like a strong peachy coppery tones to it, and also gold. Okay, it has gold, peachy, coppery tones to it. Now the Nuance, this is a Nuance palette. And then you also have the Amethyst palette. The Amethyst palette, it has mauvey tones. Mauve and purple is what the Amethyst palette is, what it's made of. So yeah, now these are very, very small. This is my first couple of theory palettes. Now Viseart also has like three already existing theory palettes. They are like cool tone and some warm tone palettes, which got really rave reviews, but I did not buy them, or I haven't tried them out. So this is my first theory palette. So these are very, very small, just the size of my palm, and but the amount of product that you get is quite substantial, guys. It says that for $45 you get 12 grams, that is 0.42 ounce of product. So if you break it down, each pan size comes up to 0.07 ounce of product, which is a very, very good amount. The same the pans here is exactly the same as, I mean, the size of the pans is exactly the same as the ones that's being offered in their 12-pan palette. 12 pans palette also has 0.07 ounce of product each, and this also contains 0.07 ounce of product each. And so that is $80 for 12 eyeshadows. So if you break it down, it comes up to $6 and $6.50 or 660 cents. But if you break this down, since it's a little bit expensive per ounce, if you calculate it that way, so this comes up to $7.50, since it's $45 for 6 eyeshadow pans. So it is a little bit, if you calculate it per pan, it is a bit expensive, but you know, altogether this is $45 and that's $80. So less money is less money. Yeah, at the end of the day, you just pay $45 for this, and that you will have to shell out $80. So yeah, let's get into the swatches, and then I want to tell you guys about the review and how these performed for me. Now I do have like a two-tone look. On this eye I have Amethyst, and on this eye I have the Nuance eyeshadow palette. So let's get into the swatches. Now the Nuance palette, I have to say, all of them are shimmery shades. There are no matte shades, and I don't think none of these eyeshadows actually have names to them, names or numbers. So let's just go with the, you know, I'll just tell you guys the shade description. So that is this is actually the most foil shade in this Nuance palette, and it does come with a mirror. So yeah, which is nice. It is very compact, and it does, I don't want to blind you guys, it does come with a very small mirror. So that is like a very strong peachy, pinky, coppery shade, which is, this is the most foil shade among in this whole palette. Then let's do this peachy shade. This peachy shade. This is the palest peach on these three. So on one side you have peachy tones. So these two in in the video they look very similar, but in person this is definitely like a champagne peach shade. This has a very strong peach. Even on the eyelids you can definitely see the peach tones coming through. And this side you have these two are actually gold tones, and this is like a straight up like a very brownish burgundy shade. So yeah, this has very strong brown tones to it. It like blends well on my skin tone. Then this shade is like a gold shade. This shade is like the least. This is actually a problem child. In fact, it's not, I wouldn't say that it's a little bit underperforming or something like this. Is a straight up problem child actually. And this shade, now the previous shade, this burgundy shade, which is here, this shade actually does not have too much shimmer. It is more like a satin shade, and this can pass like as a matte eyeshadow. You can definitely use this as a matte eyeshadow. It doesn't have too much shimmer or glitter in it or anything. The reason I'm saying, because none of these shades are like a straight up matte eyeshadow. All of them have some amount of shimmer and shine to them, but this one is more of a satin shade. So yeah, there's that. And then this gold shade has like chunky glitter in it and very sheer, guys, and it does not build up. And I don't like it actually. I do not like that shade. And this is like a very pale white gold. On my skin tone it just looks straight up white, but when you look at it closely in the pan you can definitely see the gold tones to it, but on my skin tone it's just straight up white. So yeah, okay, let me just talk about this palette quickly before I move on to the Amethyst palette. Now out of these shades, this is the best of all of them, and this is actually, I wouldn't even call it bad. This is actually a this is the worst of all of them. Now these two shades, now I did not you know, I don't own the already existing theory palettes, those three theory palettes, Ming's and something else it's called, I'm not sure what. Those, the shimmer shades in those palettes, from what I saw the reviews, they were very foiled, very similar to this shade actually, very foiled and very impactful. But these shimmer shades are very soft, but it's not like they are dull. They definitely like catch the light, and they do like give you like a shine. Like on this eye I have completely, actually I have this this white gold in the inner corner, and then I have this like coppery peachy shade in the entire lid, and I have this burgundy shade in the crease, bringing it to the crease, but it doesn't give you too much depth from what you see. It kind of blends right into my skin tone because of the brown tones in it, strong brown tones in it. It kind of blends, but it definitely gives a little bit of depth. So yeah, the look that you will get from this palette is a very soft look. It does give like a shimmer, but if you want some really good shimmer that catches the light and looks very pretty, this is the only shade I think. These two kind of looks a little bit, this shade is pretty because the peach tones definitely comes through. This shade I'm talking about, this shade is very pretty because although it's light, the peach tones definitely come through. But these three shades look, this is like very bad, and these two shades look very similar on my skin tone. And so to be honest, I'm not very impressed with this palette because I really expected them to be more foiled and like really impactful on my skin tone, and they do not create an impact. As you can see, look, I'm not using like a very ring lights and like what's it called, studio lighting. This is just normal light fixtures that people use in their room. So if you wear this eyeshadow palette and when you walk into a room, this is how it will look. You know what I mean? Wherever you go, you do not have like ring lights like so glaring at you. You just have normal light fixtures that's in the ceiling, and this is how it will look. Very, very very soft and very simple. So I think this kind of an eyeshadow palette probably is best for, I don't know, very like an office environment place, or if you are someone who you know, likes very, 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 very soft shimmers, and something that doesn't like I don't know, very impactful colors. But even if you are someone who likes those kinds of eyeshadows, for $45, guys, this eyeshadow is actually not very good. And these two eyeshadows on deeper skin tone look very, very similar. As you can see, this is this very pale peach is right here, and this white gold is right here. So two very similar shades, and this gold tone, strong gold tone shade is not good. So I personally like only these three shades, this burgundy and this pinky peach and this mid-tone peach. So for three shades, $45, I don't think, I actually do not like this, and I do not recommend this palette honestly, because the actual metallic finish wise, these are very, very soft. They do catch the light a little bit, this shadow in particular, these two shadows in particular, but otherwise they are very, very soft, and they are kind of not very vibrant. Vibrant is the word I'm looking for, not very vibrant. And that's not the reason I'm not recommending the Nuance palette, because the Nuance palette, even the shade wise, I think this particular shade is not good, and $45 for just 6 eyeshadows is very expensive, and I really expected it to be like top notch, especially for being Viseart, and that is not, that palette is not. So okay, let's move on to the second palette, which actually, spoiler alert, is my favorite. Let me get rid of this watch so that I can get on with the swatching. So yeah, this is a new Amethyst palette. The Amethyst palette has mauve tones to it. This is a straight up purple, and this doesn't look very dark on in the pan, but on my skin tone, it definitely, the mauve tones definitely come through. It's very, very pretty, guys. Even on deeper skin tone, it's very, very pretty. And this is like a very, it looks white, but on the skin, let's do swatches. And before I start, there are 3 matte shades and 3 shimmer shades in this palette, so it's like a complete palette, like truly complete palette, unlike the Nuance eyeshadow palette. So 3 mattes and 3 shimmers. The mattes are absolutely fantastic, guys. These are so good. This is like a very, very peach, very soft baby pink mauve toned eyeshadow. The mattes are beautiful in this eyeshadow, guys. Then this, let's swatch the next mauve toned. It's like a mid-tone. Do you see how dark it is? But it's not as like dark in the pan, but in my finger it kind of is very, very dark. Do you see? You can definitely see the mauvey tones in it. And oh my god, excuse me for that. And that is a purple. This looks very dark, but in person it definitely looks very, very purple. Then let's do this. Pink is beautiful, guys. So pretty. It looks like very, very pale and very dull in the pan, but on the skin this is actually a very, very iridescent shade. It has like a very, very pale lavender to pink shift to it. It's so pretty. It's very, very pretty, and it's also very pigmented. Even I do have like hyperpigmentation on my eyelids, but this goes on beautifully. And to be honest, it doesn't require any layering, but if you want to layer, but you can go ahead and do it, and it does it well. But even on my hyperpigmented eyelids, it does not require any layering. And this is very pigmented and foil, this shade. This is like a mid-tone mauvey shade. This is very pretty as well. And then finally, you have this purple shade. This is a straight up purple shade. So that is that. I know the swatch doesn't look good, but this shade is also very, very pigmented and it does not require any layering at all. Honestly, I'm absolutely in love with this amethyst palette, guys, because the mattes perform beautifully and the shimmers do not require layering at all. Even on, I do have hyperpigmentation in the inner part of my lid, on both lids, and they do not require any kind of layering. You can go ahead and layer and they do it well, but there's no need for layering and they do very, very well. Now I have this mid-tone mauve shade in the crease, and then I do have this in the outer corner of my. Do you see how soft this look came out, and also it blends out seamlessly, and also then I have this shade in the inner corner of my eyes, and then I have the mid-tone mauve shade, shimmery shade in the center part of my eyelids. Then I have this straight up purple shade just before the outer part of my eyelids, just like to bring a gradient effect. Now honestly, these work beautifully on the eyelid, but when you use all three, honestly, when I look at the mirror, I can't tell the difference between this shade and this shade, the pale shimmery shade and the mid-tone mauvey shade. These two shimmery shades look very similar on my skin. Well, initially there is a little bit of difference, but once you blend them in, they kind of become like as a one shade. So there's that. If that's something you want to consider when you're purchasing a palette, they're not like absolutely like diametrically different shades. They're not like this purple and this pink, or this purple and this mauve shade. These do have like mauve lavender tones to it, so they do look kind of similar on my skin tone once they are blended together. But blending is very, very easy, and even after blending your crease, both eyeshadow palettes, I would say, in that aspect, these two are really good in the aspect. Okay, let me explain what the aspect is. The aspect of once you blend the eyeshadow, the already applied eyeshadow on the eyelid does not like fade away and go away. It is still there, very much there. So it adheres to your skin beautifully, and that way both the eyeshadow palettes are really, really good. They adhere to the skin very, very well. But the only concern for me with the Nuance palette is this one particular shade, this gold tone shade actually is pretty sheer, and it does, I feel it did not layer up on my skin tone. And these two shades, this gold, this white gold, and this very pale peach, look very similar on my skin tone. So my only good shades for me, I think, are these three shades. But these two shades are actually pigmented and they go on well. So if you are a person with a lighter skin tone, they would look different on your skin tone, but on my deeper skin tone, they look very similar, and these three are the only good shades I would actually go for. And not having a matte shade is not the biggest concern for me, because this is like a satin shade, this burgundy brown, so you can definitely use it as like a crease or outer crease shade, and it will definitely, I think it will work well for everyone. Excuse me. So yeah, but since for $45 for just 6 eyeshadows and one of them is not good, that is a no-go for me. That is definitely a red flag, if you ask me. If I want to spend $45, that's a lot of money, guys, for just 6 eyeshadows. But this is amazing, because I think this will cater to everybody, because it has mattes and it also has shimmers, the Amethyst palette, and all of them perform beautifully. None of them have any like maybe you need to layer them up and then or anything. Nothing. They are absolutely 10 out of 10. All of the eyeshadows are amazing. They blend well, and then at the end of the day, the final look that you get is beautiful and very, very seamless. You do not get any harsh lines, and I think for someone who's a beginner, this eyeshadow palette will be very, very good. But I feel both the eyeshadow palettes, that is, I feel it caters to people of very it caters to a very narrow audience, is what I feel. If you are someone who does very minimal makeup and who likes mauvey purpley tones, then I think I would recommend this palette for you. Otherwise, I feel this might get kind of lost in your vast makeup collection, is what I feel. If you're someone who likes to collect a lot of makeup and has a lot of makeup collection, I feel this tiny palette might get lost in your entire makeup collection. But if you're someone who does minimal makeup, just if you are a minimalist who likes mauve tones and purple tones, I think this would be a fantastic addition to your makeup collection. You will get a lot of use out of this. Is what I feel, excuse me. But this one, just quality wise, I'm not happy with this, but color selection is beautiful, and just the fact that this costs $45 and you only have 6 shades, and out of the 6 shades 1 shade is not good, so that's the reason I'm not recommending it. But besides that gold shade, all the other shades are really, really good. But for me, if you are a person of deeper skin tone, these 2 shades look so similar, so I only have 3 shades to work with, honestly. So yeah, it's a no-go for me. So I do not recommend the Nuance palette, just because 5 out of 6 shades are good, just 1 is not good. But the Amethyst palette, I recommend it 100%, guys. This is a very, very good palette. So yeah, there's my review, very in-depth, very long review of these Viseart's Theory palettes. Hope you guys found this video useful. And where you can find this is, now Beautylish carries Viseart, but from what I checked and saw, they do not have these 2 palettes yet on their website. But I think only Sephora has it, and Muse Beauty Pro, I think that's what it's called, they have it. So I think these are the only sites that carry these 2, the Amethyst and the Nuance palette. But yeah, so I bought mine during the sale. So yeah, I think we touched on everything. Now packaging, we didn't talk about the packaging. Now it does come with a sleeve. It's more like a pocket. It's not a box, definitely, because there's no closing. It's just like a pocket. And it does have the ingredients list in here, and then it says this is made in France. And yeah, and it also says a Theory palette here, and then 6 shade professional eyeshadow palette. And then it has a small a ribbon in it, and then you open it, and this is actually the back side, where it also has the ingredients list again. So if you get rid of the sleeve, you definitely have something for reference. And then you have a mirror here, and then you have the eyeshadows here, and these also do pop out, because do you see the small curvature here that it has, which helps you to easily take the eyeshadow pan out, and you can customize it, I think. Yeah, so yeah, you guys, this is my swatch and review. These are the swatches, my thoughts and review on the eyeshadow palette, on the Theory eyeshadow palette. So hope you guys found this video useful. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked watching it, and please subscribe. Bye.